Hello, welcome to Confident Children. My name is Lucy Nathanson. I'm a child therapist and founder of 𝗕𝗁𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. So during this video, I'm going to be talking about an interesting phenomenon, and this is that often parents tell me that their child struggles to talk around people in public when they're at home, so in their home country. However, when they go on holiday or to a new town, their child is able to do things they can't do in their hometown. So parents will tell me quite often that, we went on holiday and my child was actually speaking around people. They had this newfound confidence. They weren't so hypervigilant and worried about being overheard. And this is really interesting. And sometimes parents even have told me that their child has even ordered in a restaurant on holiday, which they've been absolutely astounded by because their child has never been able to do that at home. So why is this? So the reason that this is because when a child is in a new environment where nobody knows that they don't talk, this can be almost like a fresh start for them. There's not that preconceived idea from others that they are unable to talk. So, and for a child with selective mutism, when they know that people know that they find it hard to talk or they're not able to talk in that situation, that knowing that they know makes it even harder for the child to talk in that situation. Quite often, you may find as a parent that your child finds it really hard to talk around people they see quite frequently because there's this entrenched association that they know I can't speak or they know I don't speak, and therefore when I'm around them I get this like anxiety shows up because there's this preconceived association and they know that this person knows, and therefore that triggers the anxiety. However, when they go somewhere new, say we're on holiday in Spain, nobody knows that they're the person who doesn't talk. So they can almost create this fresh new identity during those moments, and there's not going to be that reaction. So often children with SM fear the reaction of others if they do talk. So naturally, if somebody knows that they are unable to talk sometimes, if they were to talk, that person might show a reaction. They might say, oh wow, you're talking, or they might respond or react to the fact the child is talking. Whereas if we're on holiday in Spain, the waiter is not going to show any reaction because obviously that person doesn't have any preconceived idea about this child. So the child has that opportunity to reinvent themselves. So that's why it's sometimes easier for children to talk in new places compared to places that they're used to being. And also the added aspect of if there's another language spoken, so if we're going to Spain on holiday and they're speaking Spanish, then the child may have a kind of newfound confidence to speak because they may feel as though people might not understand them. There's less of the feeling of being in the spotlight, that people will be kind of paying attention to them. And that may make it easier for some children. Obviously, every child is different. So this may or may not apply to your child, but I do hear quite frequently from families that when they go to a new place or go on holiday, their child is actually able to do some new talking they haven't been able to do before, which for parents it can sometimes be quite puzzling at the start because they think that's so strange that you'd assume that they'd be more likely to be able to talk when they're in a familiar environment, a place they're used to. However, it's actually the opposite, in that familiar environment there's that association of lots of experience of not being able to talk here, whereas in this new fresh environment there's not that experience, and the child can reinvent themselves. There's less of a risk of people reacting to them talking, so the child is able to sometimes make those positive strides forward. So I hope that helps and helps explain that. If you'd like to learn more about selective mutism, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Have a look at our social media. So we're on Facebook at Confident Children Selective Mutism Therapy. We're on Instagram, confident.children, and of course have a look at our website, 𝗕₁₀children.co.uk, where there are lots of different resources, book recommendations, game recommendations, articles, and of course if you do need our help, just send a message through the contact page. I hope that was helpful and have a lovely, lovely rest of the day. Bye.